Firebolts are definitely not the strongest grenade in the game, but Bungie went on and actually tried to turn that up a notch. Now this is going to be a Warlock build based around buffing your Firebolts as much as possible, and to the person that's already typing that Starfire is better and to just run that, just try to have a little fun. I think we all know that fuse grenades are just by far the best, but if you want to try to maximize Firebolts and have some fun with them this season, this is definitely what you want to run. However, if you do want to stick to the meta, I do have a Starfire build that I will link in the top right if you would like to check it out. And also really quick, I do want to say shout out to the 12% of people that subscribe to my channel after watching a video. You all mean the world to me. I couldn't do it without you all, and if anyone wants to join that 12%, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you do enjoy my content and find anything helpful. However, just know that watching the video is way more than enough though. We are on the road to 35k, so any support from you all is greatly appreciated, and let's just jump right into this fun build. All right, so first off, let's talk about the Firebolt grenade, which has a 1 minute and 4 second base cooldown, which is one of the shortest grenade cooldowns out of any of the solar grenades. Now this grenade, basically when you throw it, it's going to have this ring that goes out and search out enemies, and then it will send this solar bolt that goes out and does damage, and it will scorch them if the enemies don't die. Now the Warlock has its own way to improve this, and that is with the aspect Touch of Flame. Most people use this for solar grenades with a Sunbracer build or fusion grenades with the Starfire build, but this also does increase the Firebolt grenade, whereas this increases the target search radius and maximum target count. So what this simply means is that your Firebolt grenade will just hit more enemies, and it will be easier to hit those enemies. Now we're actually going to take a break from the subclass and head over to our artifact, because this is also where things are going to be greatly increased, specifically with the mods Flare Up and Rain of Firebolts. Flare Up says Firebolt grenades apply more scorch stacks, damaging a combatant with a Firebolt grenade spawns a fire sprite near them. So this just means you're going to apply more scorch stacks, which makes it easier to ignite enemies, which is very, very good. And on top of that, you will make a fire sprite, which you will get into more later. And then we also have Rain of Firebolts. So when you have Firebolt grenades equipped, gain a second grenade charge. This was pretty self-explanatory. You're just going to get 2 Firebolts now at all times, which is really, really cool. And you also are just going to be applying more scorch to them and spawning fire sprites. Now, other ways we're going to buff our grenade is with Verity's Brow. So Verity's Brow has the exotic perk, the 4th Magic. Weapon final blows with a damage type matching your subclass energy grants Death Rows, which provides a grenade damage bonus and grants you grenade energy. When you have Death Rows and throw a grenade, nearby allies gain greatly increased grenade regeneration for a short time. So this exotic is going to be the final way we actually can buff our Firebolt. This is just going to give us more grenade cooldown rate for our double grenades, and we're going to have more damage, which is going to pair really nice, obviously, with the more scorch stacks. With everything combined together, you're going to want your Firebolt grenades to be able to one-shot a bunch of lower tier adds and get extremely easy ignites on higher tier adds, which this does accomplish. What's really cool is that Verity's Brow does have the added bonus, since you're going to be spamming grenades a lot. This just means that you could also now give your allies that grenade regeneration rate a lot as well, since you're throwing them 24/7. So essentially, more damage, more cooldown rate, more cooldown for your team. On top of that, another grenade, more scorch stacks, and the ability to spawn fire sprites. And then also you're going to have the ability for your Firebolt grenade to search targets easier and search for a lot more enemies. So with all that, we're buffing this Firebolt grenade up a lot, and it can actually perform pretty well. Now for aspects, I'd like to run Icarus Dash. If you want to run Heat Rises, you can. These are totally up to you. I just like Icarus Dash for that movement, which is really, really good. I do prefer to run Healing Rift for the survivability aspect, since we're not taking a healing grenade, and Well of Radiance obviously just for one of the best supers in the entire game. Now for fragments to improve this, we're going to be running Ember of Resolve. So Solar Grenade Final Blows cure you. So this just means now when you get grenade kills with your Firebolt, not only is it doing everything we already went over, we're also now going to be getting healed, which is very, very strong. Now we're also going to be running Ember of Blistering. So defeating targets with solar ignitions grant grenade energy. Since we're going to be igniting enemies everywhere, this just means we're going to get even more grenade energy to throw them even more. If you want to swap this out for like pretty much anything, you can absolutely do that. I just like this because I'm playing heavily into that grenade, so I can always have energy up all the time. Now I'm also running Ember of Eruption. So your solar ignitions have increased area of effect. Since our main goal is to ignite enemies like crazy, we want our ignitions to be huge, which will also play into Ember of Blistering to give some of that grenade energy back, so if it hits a target farther away. Now also Ember of Ashes, so you apply more scorch stacks to targets. This once again is just going to help out with setting those ignitions off between this and the artifact mod to give you more scorch. That is going to pair together extremely nicely, and then wrapping all that together with things like an incandescent weapon right here, you can get such easy ignition procs all the time, and it is very, very strong. Now, outside of mods, that is pretty much the rundown of how we're going to make our Firebolts extremely strong. I would highly recommend a 100 resilience, 100 discipline split. If you can get to 100 recovery, go for that. Obviously, having triple 100 stats is not the easiest thing to do, but that is what I would definitely prioritize if you do have some points left over. The thing I forgot to mention is your melee attack. You can kind of go with whatever you want. Celestial Fire is good. I still like Incinerator Snap because you can kind of snap the ground and get those instant ignitions if all the little sparks from the melee hit. So that's just why I run Incinerator Snap. But you can obviously swap this out for whatever. It doesn't play a huge part in this build like it does for the Starfire or Sunbracers. Now, we've already talked about weapons a little bit in the form of Incandescent, but I do want to talk about my favorite weapon to pair with this, and that is the BXR-55 Battler, just simply because it does have Demolitionist and Incandescent on it. Demo is going to be really good, obviously, to get your grenades back when you get a kill. Also, when you throw your grenade, which we'll be doing all the time, it'll reload the gun. And then Incandescent, like I said, we've already went over. It's pretty self-explanatory. You're just going to get easy ignitions because you're scorching everything on the battlefield. Now, other weapons you can run with this is things like the Callus Mini Tool, the Trusty even come with Incandescent. Just anything that has Incandescent will be very, very good. I just like this one specifically because it does have Demo on it. I just have a Yellowhorn equipped. You can obviously swap this out for whatever DPS scenario you're going into. What's really cool with this season specifically is that I'm running a Riptide with Choke Clip. If you don't know, Choke Clip can stun Overload and Unstoppable because the first shot will slow enemies, which stuns Overload, and then the second shot will actually freeze the enemy. So when you shatter that on an Unstoppable champion, it will stun the Unstoppables. So you have Overload and Unstoppable, and with this season, you do have Anti-Barrier Pulse. So if you are running the Battler with this build, this means you have Anti-Barrier, Overload, and Unstoppable, all 3 champions, and you never have to swap your loadout out, which is really, really cool. Say that 3 times fast. All right, for mods, these are the ones I'm running if you all would like to copy them down and just figure anything out for yourself. But let's start off with our helmet. We're going to be running a Solar Siphon, so when we get rapid solar weapon final blows, we will make an Orb of Power. On top of that, we'll be running double Ashes to Assets. Since we're trying to buff our grenades up a lot to constantly kill enemies, this is going to feed us more super energy, which means we can have more Well of Radiances, which obviously just means we can have them for boss fights or just any sticky situation. Ashes to Assets is extremely strong, and then obviously that Solar Siphon will get that orb for armor charge. Now, I'm also running Solar Loader so I can reload my Battler a little bit faster alongside Firepower, so my grenades will create orbs of power, and then Grenade Kickstart, so whenever I throw my grenade, I will actually get some energy back. And then on top of that, if I have more armor charges, it will give me even more grenade energy back, which is really, really cool. Now, for my chest piece, I'm just running resistant mods. Just be sure to swap these out for whatever encounter you're going into. For boots, I do have a recuperation equipped and alongside double innervation. So recuperation will actually give me some health when I pick up an orb. This is just going to pair really nice with our fragment that heals us when we get our grenade kill. And then since we're getting healed with that kill, we're also going to be making an orb, which will then heal us even more. So that's kind of our survivability aspect. And innervation will actually give you grenade energy when you pick up an orb. And since you're going to have so many ways to make orbs between your grenade getting kills and your weapon getting kills, this just means you can get that grenade energy back up even better. And then finally, for some more grenade energy, I will be running double bomber. This would just give you a bunch of grenade energy when you throw your rift down. That's why I like to run 100 recovery, so I can get that rift back as much as possible if I need grenade energy. And then finally, I'm running a distribution so I can just get some cooldown for all my abilities, so I can get that rift back a little bit faster, alongside also giving that little extra grenade energy. You can swap this out for whatever you want to. That's just what I have equipped right now. Now, the only thing our armor charge is using is Grenade Kickstart. This just means that we can now have even more grenades up all the time. And another thing I want to mention really quick is the artifact mod Solar Surge. So collecting a fire sprite gives you an armor charge. This is what I wanted to get back to, because since you have so many ways to make orbs between your grenades getting kills and your weapons getting kills, that is going to grant you armor charge alongside fire sprites now granting you armor charge because of the aspect flare up, which means when your Firebolt hits enemies, you will make a fire sprite near them. So you have 2 different ways to get armor charge, which again obviously will play into Grenade Kickstart. And if you don't know, fire sprites actually give you grenade energy. So when you're picking these up, you're throwing them, making them all the time, you're going to get even more grenade energy, just like picking up your orbs would with things like innervation. So overall, that is the build. All you want to do is get some solar kills, get some scorch going around. You're going to get some grenade damage, ignite every single enemy with your Firebolt grenades. That in return is going to have bigger explosions. They're going to give you grenade energy. You're going to get healed. On top of all that, you're feeding your super because of things like Ashes to Assets. Literally every single thing plays into just buffing that Firebolt up all the time. You're going to have double of them, and it is really, really fun. Now, like I do at the end of these videos, I always always like to show you all my transmog I'm running, because a lot of you all always seem to like the armor set I'm running since I make a new one for every single build. This is what I have going on. I just have some of the same shaders equipped. I didn't try to go anything too fancy with it, but I tried to make the Verity's Brow look as cool as it possibly could, and I think I did a pretty good job. I'm taking advantage of the new ornaments from this season and the new raid arm, so I think it looks pretty cool. Let me know what you all think, though, in the comments below. But all right, I think that's going to do it all for me. Let me know what you all think about the build. And if you all want to try it out, I will have a dim link to it in the description below. And as always, if you all enjoy and learn anything new, consider subscribing, drop a like, and turn those notifications on. Also, if you'd like to join my Discord or following any of my socials, all that will be linked in the description as well. But just know watching this video is way more than enough, and that every single bit of support from you all is truly appreciated. Thank you all so much for watching this one, and have a great day. Peace.